Right, Stuart, reflecting on Crewe, football is so often about the moments in matches, isn't it? And, you said after the game that the two moments that led up to the two opening goals just weren't good enough, and it gave us a massive mountain to climb. Just wonder what your final reflections are. You'll have watched plenty of footage over the weekend, I imagine.
Yeah, look, I think we started the game in the exact manner how we wanted to start the game. We said to the lads before you start the game, let's get the crowd with us, and we did. We went and got a corner opening in the game and started really positive on the front foot. But from that corner, we concede a corner and then they score. And that deflates anyone. When you start the game bright and then you concede a goal, it deflates everyone. It deflates the fans, it deflates us as a management team and the players. And it's very hard then, once you give a team like Crewe kind of a free goal really, because it is a free goal, because they haven't had to do a lot to score it, it becomes very difficult to get yourselves back in the game.
What's the message to the lads? I know you've only just spoken to them there in the meeting. You've got to training shortly, but what's the message to the lads? Because obviously it's been a recurring issue this season. There's growing frustration from everybody at the club really to see goals like that conceded. What's your approach to trying to deal with that?
Look, I think the big positive for us now is that early in the season I think teams were opening us up. I think they were going down the barrel of our goal. Defenders were having to defend, emergency defending we call it. That's not happening now. Now we're having to defend fewer moments, which is really good. So the lads have taken the detail on board, but now it's a mentality thing. Now we've got to really want to defend our box, and that's all of us collectively. It's not just the defenders, it's not the goalie, it's not the midfielders, it's the forwards, it's all of us as a one. We've got to really have that mentality now. We've got to be on it each other, that every time a team gets a moment, because that's their avenue. Most teams in this division, every time they get a free kick around the halfway line, a free kick round your box or a corner, it's coming in your box. We've got to get that real mentality now that we really want to defend our own box and keep the ball out of our net. And I think if we do that, I think we'll be successful.
Of course, we're on a disappointing run of form, and it was a disappointing weekend result-wise and largely performance-wise in terms of conceding the goals that we did. But I suppose you and the management team, you have the job of looking at the bigger picture as well, and there were some positive moments in the game. We created quite a few chances, as you mentioned. We did get the ball into some dangerous areas. It just feels a little bit, as well as making some mistakes in the defensive sort of moments, it feels a little bit like the rub of the green's not going for us at the minute.
No, I definitely agree. I think the big moments, attacking wise and defensively, have not gone our way. Especially since we've been in charge. I think we've had big moments, especially at Mansfield we should go 1-0 up, Wrexham we should go 1-0 up. I think those moments haven't gone for us at the minute, but the big thing is, especially for the forwards, keep getting in those positions and eventually it comes again. Every team goes through those kind of moments, but when we're not taking our chances, we've got to make sure we keep clean sheets. Clean sheets is the real success. That's what brings real success. If you can keep clean sheets, that's what gives you real success and sustained success, rather than firepower, which we have within our team. We have no doubt we're going to score goals. We're going to go on runs where we can score 3 or 4 within a game because we have that much ability going forward. But now, can we make sure that we have a nil by our name and make sure when we're going in at half time, we're actually in the game? Rather than at times we're going in at half time and it's very difficult when you're 2-0 down. But we had moments before we were 2-0 down. We have a header at the back post, we have a a shot that just goes wide, so we have moments to go in 2-1, even 2-2. So it's not like we're not creating moments. If we weren't creating moments as well, then there's panic stations. But I feel that as a performance level we're in a good place. As an outcome we're not, because the results haven't gone our way, and that's what it's all about. 3 points is hugely valuable at this stage of the season.
Scott Robertson, man of the match against his former club Crewe on Saturday. He's been in excellent form, hasn't he, over the last month or so. Just tell us what you think of him and how he's developing at Notts.
Look, I think he's getting better game by game. I think he's come into an environment that was totally different to an environment that he's been working in the sense of a philosophy, in the amount of times you have to handle the ball. I think previously, if you look at him as a midfielder, he probably touched the ball in and around 20 times a game. He's coming into a Notts team now where he's probably landing on the ball 60 times a game. So he's a hell of a lot receiving the ball, a hell of a lot more now, but he's got better and better game by game. He's got a real all-round game. He's got a real appetite and desire to really go get that ball back for us, which we need within the team. It's not just about looking good on the ball. We need to make sure that we do the ugly side of the game, and he's coming and he's given us both sides of it, and his enthusiasm in training to want to get better and desire is incredible. So I feel he's got a real chance of being a top player.
Top players. David McGoldrick was obviously substituted early in the second half after taking that hefty challenge in the first. Is there any update on him?
Yeah, we'll assess him again today. It was stiff after the game, and that's why he come off at just after half time. We'll assess him again today and train him with the physio team, and we'll see where he's at. We don't know entirely just yet, but we'll assess him and see where we go from it.
It was good to get a glimpse of Charlie Colkett at Wrexham as a late substitute at the racecourse. Obviously, he couldn't be named in the squad on Saturday due to it being against his parent club. But how's he progressing? Is he likely to be back in contention tomorrow night?
Yeah, he has contention to being back involved in the squad. We'll watch a bit more of Sutton as we're going now, and we're preparing on him now, so we'll know what kind of bench we'll need and tactically whether we need to change it or not. But he's done really well. He's up to speed now with the fitness levels of where we wanted him to be, so that hopefully he doesn't break down on an injury side, which the welfare of the players is always our first and foremost from the medical team. But yeah, he's done really well coming against Wrexham. I thought he had a really positive debut for us.
Can you tell us a little bit about where you see his skill set? You know, what sort of role could he play? Could he play various roles? Just when we do eventually see more of him, what do you think he can do for us?
I think he can play anywhere within our box in a sitting role and a higher role up the pitch. I think he's got super ability at opening the door. He's a very creative midfielder. He's kind of a little bit different in the way that we play within midfield, the way he receives the ball, the way he opens the pitch. He's got a very good range of passing, so I think he'll add a lot to the group in time.
Speaking of looking ahead and hopefully integrating players more into the starting 11, I hear there's some good news on Cedwyn Scott's progress as well.
Yeah, we're hoping that he's probably a couple of weeks away from being back in the group fully with us. We won't want to rush him because we know he's been long term, but he's just a huge boost to everyone around the club. To have someone like that outside your squad is always, every time you go to the training ground and he's not involved, it does get everyone a little bit down because he's that infectious character. We know what he can do on the pitch as well. He's got goals in him and his work ethic's second to none. So look, we're really looking forward to getting him back within the group.
You've been an admirer of Cedwyn's for a while, haven't you? Obviously, you'll have seen him up close during your time at Wealdstone, but I think you would say that he offers something a little bit different. Again, that's similar to what Jatta does.
No, definitely. That's the good thing now, that potentially when we're getting Keds back, we've got something totally different within the squad and we can hurt teams in different ways. Look, I've admired Keds from when he was his Gateshead days. We watched a lot of Gateshead because they were coming into the National League, so we always watch teams coming into the National League to see what they're like, and he's one that stood out and has a real chance of kicking on because he's got goals in him. He's got goals, but he's got the work ethic, he's reliable, he's got a little bit of everything to his game, and he's infectious. When he goes and presses the ball and takes it off people and then goes and breaks on you, it makes everyone go do it. So look, we're really excited to have him back in the group.
Obviously the Sutton game will come too early for him, but for the rest of the lads, they obviously need to get themselves prepared for another big game, another difficult game. We obviously saw Sutton's threats on the opening day, and as I think you alluded to in your presser a week or so ago, there are no easy games in this league regardless of league position.
No, there's not. I think they're fighting for their lives down the bottom. They want to try and make sure that they stay in the EFL, so that they're fighting for their lives as a group now and as a football club. There's no easy games within this division. I think they'll come and frustrate, and they've had really positive results since the new manager's come in. They've had positive results. They've got a point away at Mansfield, who are a team that are potentially now in a title race, and we know how difficult it is to go there, so they're a team that can come and hurt anyone on their day within the division. We've just got to make sure that we bring our performance to the level that it is, and we make sure we defend our box properly.
Of course there was frustration at Meadow Lane on Saturday, but it has to be said that the fans really stuck with the players and you, so it'll be a case of asking for that again tomorrow night as we look to sort of kick-start this run into the end of the season now.
No, definitely. Look, I get there frustrating at the end of the game. We're all frustrated and it's all disappointing, and when we concede the goals in the way that we do, it deflates everyone. So we totally get their frustration, but we also really appreciate the way that they backed the lads and stayed at the end and clapped them off, and during the game got behind them. Even at 3-0 they kept getting behind them. When we scored, you just never know what can happen, and that's where they play their part. They can swing it and they suck the ball into the goal at the Cop end. So look, we need them behind us. We need on Tuesday night under the lights that atmosphere that we really, when Sutton turn up, they know they're in for a game, and that's on the pitch and off the pitch.